Okay, we're going to talk about death today, which I think should be fun, but you can rest assured if I'm not overly funny, it's because I don't have a lot of time. So Sprint and Microsoft came together and really came to a conclusion that we could put these two things together. Over time, you really haven't been able to solve the idea that we are a mobile workforce and we all sort of stay attached to our desks. We ask a question, what is mobility? And certainly for Sprint, mobility is everything for us. We tell our 50 million customers that they can do their jobs and live their lives wherever they want, however they want, using our products and services, hopefully. So we define it that way for our employees as well. We also begin to ask other questions around really what is work, and maybe some very fundamental questions that we've begun asking only recently. Where is work? And when is work? Certainly things that you look back even 10 to 15 years ago, work was almost always a place. It was almost always a time. It was a noun. You had to get in a car and go to a place to do that job. But now, you can define it differently. When you look in the dictionary, you don't really see a place till the seventh definition. You see things like activity and production and doing things. It's all about the production of something, when in reality, you have to get down to that seventh definition to really think about where that work is done. So it's a little interesting to find out where things go from that perspective. Our mobile workforce is something that we've been doing for a while. I think a number of us have talked about that ad nauseum. But when you think about unified communications and what we'll talk about in a few minutes, it's really about the employee, giving them benefit to something that they can look at and use wherever they want to use it. It used to be about taking things away. Now it's providing things for them to do their jobs. We still look at our real estate the same way. We look at it from a market perspective down to a portfolio perspective, all the way down to space. So we continue to try to optimize that. We look at our mobile workforce and know that we can rationalize where they work and how they work and continue to maximize where we do our jobs. So that part hasn't really changed. We do have over 80 field office locations at this point, over $1 million square foot reduced over time. So $25 million a year, every year that we benefit. We have thousands of mobile workers that have grasped onto that concept. So when you think about adding in a complexity here, it's not perfect yet, right? We still have people that are concerned about their staplers and about their files, and they're grasping onto these things in such a way that you feel like you need to provide one more bump. And the idea for that bump is to provide them with a desk phone that goes with them everywhere they want to go. So you detach that cable, and all of a sudden they can be more mobile. People are pretty familiar with that screen, right? Instant messaging. You've got video conferencing, you've got desk phones in your laptop. You can do all these things in an ecosystem with unified communications, and that's what Microsoft and Sprint have come together to do. They have that all in one place. It's really an enabler for our employees to be more mobile and to finally do this, right? We've been attached to a desk forever, whether it was our desk or a desk. We've been attached forever. Now we can finally cut that cord. We have 15,000 users at Sprint that are using unified communications every day. So it's been a boon for us from a mobility perspective. It's been that one more thing that we've been able to provide to our people.
Technology has clearly transformed where and how we work. It's great at balancing work-life issues, but it's not without its problems. We're working to transform and, importantly, simplify communications and put people at the center. I'm going to talk about 3 important concepts that help us do that, and it's going to be a little participatory. I'm going to ask you to clap on point. So Alexander Graham Bell invented the phone in 1874, one phone into a location, into a house or an office. And that was tied to an identity. He didn't think people would have 7 identities. So I want you to clap for the number of things on your business card with an address. A phone, an office phone, a cell phone, an IM address, a personal address, a business email address, right? What have we done? We've created one identity on the back end. So instead of having to remember 7 numbers and 7 addresses, there's one. When you log into the corporate network, it remembers all of your numbers. It tells you when people are available with the little green buttons so you know when to call them. If they're on the phone, the next generation is going to have location services so it will know where you are. And we also allow people to work across devices. So we have smartphones, we have laptops, we have desk phones. The experience is the same no matter what device. So it's about choice. And a third of information workers have multiple devices now. And it's mostly managers and mobile people, but what's good for them is good eventually for the rest of the workforce. From a tools perspective, people can be overwhelmed by what's the right tool to use when. Is it IM? Is it live meeting? Is it SharePoint? What is it? We build everything from the ground up so they're integrated from the get-go, so it makes that interoperability between tools really easy for the end user. Ultimately, that helps productivity. Our customers are telling us that people are saving from 30 minutes a week to 30 minutes a day, but time is not the only thing that we measure with productivities. It's the relationships, it's the collaboration, and it's together the improved business outcomes that happen when you bring all those things together.
So you can see this screen here, choice and flexibility, right? It's king for us. We tell our people, we tell our customers that they can choose when, where, and how they work. It's great for our environment. It's great from a bottom line perspective. You can see the UC smiley face. It's all me, mad PowerPoint skills. And we can now attach laptops to our steering wheels. This was our environment before, right? From an infrastructure perspective, you can just imagine the number of PBXs. We're paying our competitors millions of dollars, right? We don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. So we have this environment we can move to. You get rid of those PBXs. You get to a much clearer picture that everyone can understand. Our mobile people can understand that. When you think about the results, we get to an environment where we can save $9 million a year just on PBX cost, our conference calls, things that put this ecosystem all back together so that everyone can live and work more productively, but more importantly, it enables people to be happier with how they do their job. So to sum up a couple of things here, choice and flexibility, again, are things that we talk about every day, but it's really the enablement of our workers to use unified communications, Microsoft and Sprint coming together to put together a solution that we really haven't arrived at before. Thanks for your time.